What to review next? What the hell? What the hell was that? That sounded like a bloody chocobo. I'm gonna have to investigate this. Oh, what the flying hell happened there? Oh my god, what is this? It seems that Chocobo has left us a wee little present in the form of the Pixel Remaster. How did he know that we will be reviewing all the Final Fantasy games? What a coincidence. Now, I wish I could say that Chocobo dropped me off a nice little present in the form of a game, not a poo. I wish he had dropped me off the Pixel Remastered physical edition for PS4, but these prices, goddamn, I ain't paying that. And I have forever and a day wanted to play the Final Fantasy series in its entirety, so I thought, why the hell not? Why not together with you people out there? Why don't we play every single Final Fantasy game in the mainline series? And for that matter, we are starting today with Final Fantasy 1 for the Pixel Remaster on the PlayStation 5. So let's jump in, check it out. The opening piano music just sends pure chills down my spine. That classic Final Fantasy tone, oh so moving. And that is something that Final Fantasy is well known for. First up, we have the character selection, and oh, how charming this is. You get to select up to 4 different characters, and within those characters, up to 6 different classes. Those ones being the Fighter, Black Belt, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage, and Red Mage. Being that Final Fantasy 1 is a big open world RPG, you, the player, really get to choose the way that you want to play this game. For my class of characters, I went with Rusty Me, that is, the warrior. You can't half tell that I think I've got a big head. Percy, my monk cat, because I can't get enough of my cute cat Percy. Lightning as my white mage, as I think she was so awesome in Final Fantasy 13 and one of my gaming crushes that she is. And then last but not least, Vivi as my black mage, because he is my all-time favourite Final Fantasy character, and I kind of wonder whether he still will be my favourite Final Fantasy character once this series is complete and done. And I'd love to know from you guys watching this, what is your favourite Final Fantasy character and why? Once we're ready with our team, we enter the world of darkness, full of environmental problems and decay. Through the world of darkness, our chosen characters become the 4 warriors of light and are each given a special empty crystal. Our very first adventure we go on is to save the King of Cornelia's daughter, Sarah, who has been abducted by the evil knight, Garland. Now, I don't know about you, but with all these princesses like Peach and Zelda getting abducted, and now Sarah as well, maybe it's time we get some beefed up security within some of these castles. What do you guys think? Garland provides such an awesome challenge. Going up against him the first time, I got my ass handed to me on a platter. Seriously, I was like, wow, if this is what it's going to be like, I'm excited. Always love a more challenging RPG over an easier one. But I just also wanted to say that I loved the art style of Garland. It just looks truly epic, and even though it's that 2D sort of, pixelated graphics, it still looks quite menacing, and it gives you that sort of like a fear factor of like, shit, this guy means business. And I just love that, and I can't wait to see what the other bosses are going to be like as we continue on within this review. One of the things that I loved straight away was the ability to change between your characters on the main map, and it was uber cute when you see Vivi running around on the screen with his little bum wiggling. It had me cracking up the first time seeing it. And this is something that I really think is just a key feature in RPGs that needs to be seen when there's multiple characters involved, it's always good to be able to switch between characters, especially when you're out on that main map. You don't always want to be seeing the same character in front of you. It gets a little bit stale, so switching up between characters can make it fun, so I love this little feature. It's in the opening area, so we get to learn what our team is really capable of. Battles are randomized, and depending on the terrain, different enemies will spawn. Up to 9 enemies are possible to bring up on screen at any given time, which is really impressive for a game of this age, I must say. While we're talking monsters, one thing that was impressive within this game was the fact that it had 128 individual monsters and bosses alike to go against within this game, and I absolutely loved the variety behind this. You had zombies, you had sharks, you even had freaking dinosaurs within this game. Like, come on, how cool is that? And even bosses that had crazy drop rates. Now, to get the platinum trophy, I had to spend quite a lot of time, 4 hours in total, waiting for this damn war mech boss to drop. And finally I got him, and then my capture card decided to shit itself. So I don't have much capture of that at all, so I'm gonna have to show you a picture of him. But it was just so awesome to have that boss, I should say, drop and finally be able to take him on and get that trophy go ping there in the corner. The variety of monsters in this game was just so cool, and each of them had their own sort of elements, and you had to try and really be strategic on what you were going to use against certain enemies in order to beat them. But just loved the monsters within this game. Now, in between battles, like in all traditional sort of JRPGs, we have the classic villages that just feel so cute and humble within this game. They have the staple buildings that we need to progress within this game. We have the Black Magic Store, this one providing us with dark magic to take on the toughest of enemies. We then have the White Magic Store, giving us the ability to learn protection spells and white magic to heal us against some deadly blows. We also then, in between battles, when we need to heal ourselves, we have the hotel providing us the health that we need to get back out there and fight on. If anyone has fallen and they're KO'd, they're dead, any of our characters can be brought back to life through the local church. Not all villages though have a church, so take note when you're playing through. Then we have the weapons store, where we can provide our characters with some epic gear to take on the toughest of bosses. And we then also have, to finish off, the arms store, giving us the shields and defense we need to take some heavy blows from the opposition. While we're talking about villages, I couldn't help but tell you guys about a little bit of a crossover within this world of this game, Final Fantasy. There was this town called Elfham, and it was so cute and adorable. It had these little green elves running around, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like Link from The Legend of Zelda. And truth behold, then I went around and found this little tombstone area, and it came up with this alert, and I was like, what is this? And it has, here lies Link, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a tribute to Link from The Legend of Zelda. And it's kind of sad, but also very cute at the same time. One of my favourite parts of the game while trying to collect the power crystals was meeting up with Bahamut, who gives us a buff of courage to all of our characters. All of our characters, oh my god, they turn into super buff warriors, and even Vivi has a face which cracks me up. I just loved this, and honestly I didn't even expect this, and for all the time that I've been alive I didn't even know this existed, and I wish it did, but it was such a pleasant surprise seeing this. Graphically, Final Fantasy 1 looks really good. It's had that fresh coat of paint, and I must say I'm always a big fan when companies redo these games, that they give you the ability to switch between the old style graphics and the new style graphics. I know that was something I really loved when I was doing some of the Halo reviews, was the ability to do that, and Final Fantasy 1 does exactly that. I just love it. It's not over the top, it still has that retro look to it. It's just, as I said, that fresh coat of paint that makes it look sharper and makes it look more appeasing on the eye, especially when you're playing on a big screen like I was. You also have the chance to change the font within the game, so you can go with the old retro style, or you can have more modern, fresh, retro style looking graphics for that matter. And then we finish off with the music, which is one of the strong parts of this game. It is just so memorable and I love it to bits. Is you have the chance to switch between the old music from the original title, where it's a little bit dated in today's terms, or you can go in and play the fresh remastered versions of these songs. Some of them will obviously sound a little bit different, but I still love that old school style and I tend to go back to that. But have a little listen, guys, to the little bit of a difference here with one of the songs. At the ending stages of the game, there are 4 major bosses to defeat to gain the power to fill our crystals. First up, we have Lynch, the boss containing the earth element. It is a creepy looking boss capable of strong ice and confusion moves. If you're looking to beat this boss with ease, I would highly recommend a fire-based move. Then we have Merilith with the element of fire. Well, technically Merilith 2 if you want to be really technical. During the game, you fight this boss not once, but twice. Second time round, Merilith has more hit points. If you've got some trusty magic on your side, you shouldn't have any issues with getting past this boss. It's of no real surprise that the Kraken would be our next boss to battle, being the floor is made of the Temple of Chaos. I love the art style of this box, so epic. Physical attacks are really key to get past this one. And last but not least, we have Tiamat, the element of wind. I always love a good dragon battle, especially when it's one with this many heads. At this stage and passing the previous bosses, you shouldn't have any real issues passing this boss if you've got, quite a decent level with behind most of your characters. After all 4 of our bosses are defeated, the power of our once empty crystals is returned, and now it's time to take on Chaos. I will say I highly recommend you stock up on equipment and items, because you're going to need it in this final battle. One great piece of equipment is the Excalibur sword that I equipped to my warrior, and it really did help take some of the punch from Chaos. The final boss, Chaos, lives up to its name, and I must say I freaking love how big this boss is. It just shows you that this is the final boss. It's bigger, it's badder, it's uglier than all the bosses before them, and I just love the style they did with this. All the previous bosses were big, but when you see this, it just takes up all the screen, and that's what I call a final boss. So hats off to the developers behind this game. It was amazing. I had a lot of challenge against trying to beat the Chaos boss. Even being at level 99, I still struggled, and it did take me quite some time to beat it. I believe you can probably beat Chaos at a lot lower level, but you got to be prepared to die a few times. Once Chaos is blown into a million pieces and we've taken him down, he is sent off into the oblivion, and it takes all of the monsters that have once given such darkness to the world, they're taken away and wiped off the face of the planet, and peace has finally returned to the world. Time-wise, if you're looking to play Final Fantasy 1, you're just looking to play it just in its sheer form and just get past the bosses and finish it, you're probably looking at around about 15 hours. It takes probably a little bit longer if you went for the Platinum Trophy like I did, but trust me, it is so worth getting the Platinum Trophy for. It's not hard, and you're just going to want to try and get all of those extra monsters and other little collectibles out there to finish off your Platinum Trophy within this game. It must be said that I thoroughly enjoyed Final Fantasy 1. I can't believe after all these years that I had never decided to play it in its entirety. I remember picking it up, playing it for a little bit on the PSP for that matter, but not getting fully into it. I got sidetracked with another game, as we all tend to do at time from time. But do yourself a favour, pick up the Final Fantasy 1 game off the PS5 or PS4 network for that matter, or even on the Switch. You can still get the physical copy. I know that's something that I really want to add to my list, where you can pick it up from PlayAsia. Not being sponsored by them by any means, but I know that's a place where you can get it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of our Final Fantasy review series. We have got a lot of games to finish off. Now, for those asking, Russell, are you going to go back and finish off the last games of the Halo series? Yes, we definitely will, and stay tuned for that. I'm going to break it up a little bit, so I'm going to have just a random game coming next. And then we will look at going back to Final Fantasy 2 and perhaps Halo straight after that. So there's a lot of reviews coming. Please leave me some comments. Let me know game series or games you'd like me to review in the future. Anything I can do better. I know I'm still learning. I'm getting better at every video that I do, but I'm still learning here. So if there's things I can improve on, please let me know. I won't take it too much to heart. Please don't turn around and say, you suck, because that'll break my little heart. But by all means, please give me some tips. And if you're willing to, please join my YouTube members. I earn absolutely nothing on here, and I would love to do this full time. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything. I want to do this full time for a living and get away from my stupid, boring retail life. But if it never happens, well, who cares? I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, fools. See you later.